What's up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of our podcast, Brooks and Dumb. I'm Brooke.
And I'm dumb, but my name is Taylor.
His actual legal name is Dumb, though. He just is embarrassed that his name is so stupid.
That's true. I don't want the millions of people listening to our first episode to know that my legal name is Dumb.
Oh my god, there's so many millions. I'm pretty sure every single person in the entire world is watching this right now. The people in their huts in India have their little bamboo computers.
There's bamboo in India?
Yes, somewhere.
So this will be part of our introduction part. Brooke actually lived in India for a while when she was younger.
I used to live in Chandigarh, India whenever I was like 7 or 8. Maybe some other time. I got lice like twice while we were there.
Well, more importantly,
lice twice. But also, it was crazy. Whenever I moved back to the States, everyone asked me if I rode a camel.
And you have clean water here, so that's
cool. My, we used to have to have a bucket in our bathroom with a little tap on the wall that was waist length, and we had to hunch up under the faucet and throw water on ourselves.
So in India, are their toilets like the same height as ours? Because I know in Asian countries they're lower.
They're the same height, and they all have bidets. The first time you ever use a fucking bidet, man, it's surprising when a cold jet stream hits your little puckered asshole.
Is it like a nice bidet, or is it like a water hose attached to your toilet?
It feels like a water hose. Nothing in India is nice.
Yeah, I can
imagine. A lot of squatter potties.
See, I've heard that that's actually better to get it all out, is like the squatting position.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I once went in a bathroom in the middle of this like fucking jungle.
Okay.
We were on like a business retreat with my dad's company, and I was like, pull over, I need to take a shit.
Yeah, sure.
And there was this like little building in the middle of the fucking jungle.
Would you say it's a hut?
It felt like a hut.
Okay.
And I opened the door, and there's just a little hole in the corner. And there's shit literally, like, it felt like on the ceiling, on the walls, on the floor. There's urine everywhere. I take one step, and I hear the little, like, the stickiness of the floor
rough.
that was covered in urine.
Sure,
and so I'm, like, jumping around. Trying to get to the hole, and I'm like looking around like, oh no, this is disgusting, and there was no light. So I'm just in darkness, squatting over this hole, surrounded by shit and piss everywhere.
Now that's the India I know.
I was like, just get out.
Okay, so speaking of shit piled to the ceiling.
Love that.
When I was working in Tulia, Texas, when we were doing the courthouse, we had like 6 or 7 porta potties.
With what? When you're doing the courthouse, you're not. They don't know everything about
obviously
your life.
You guys don't know my prominent tile legacy, but I will elaborate.
He's a tile legend.
I was a tile legend, but I had to retire to start delivering mattresses because that's the natural course of action in a tileman's career. But anyway, when I was tiling the Tulia courthouse, there was a porta potty at the end of the row of porta potties that was probably 5 or 6 long. And we never went to this porta potty because I went in there one time, and the shit in the porta potty was, no joke, taller than the seat. It was a pyramid of shit that someone had stood on the sides and added to.
Someone's like got both of their feet on both sides of the toilet, and they like have their hands on the ceiling. And they're like,
to shit. And they walked in, saw it, and was like, yeah, I can make that work. And they made it work. Multiple times, because it was high. So since we're still in the introduction phase, Brooke.
Yeah, because we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're starting to talk about shit a lot.
Funny topic.
So we have a little notebook about stuff we should talk about, and right here it says music, so I guess we should talk about music. What kind of music do you like?
All kinds of preferences.
Yeah.
I like trap music.
Of course you do,
which
sure. Little bit of rap.
Yeah.
Right.
Which my grandfather would probably have a heart attack if he knew.
He might actually have a heart attack. He's pretty old.
Literally every time he hears even the calmest form of rap, like someone just spitting some little bars on a song.
Would you say that the calmest kind of rap is freeform poetry? Is that what he would
No.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to clarify for the viewers.
Actually, as rap, like if someone throws in a little cipher in a pop song, a little Iggy Azalea, he'd probably...
Odd example.
No, but I'm saying that because he would probably say that Iggy Azalea is the devil's music. And Iggy Azalea says nothing in her songs that would seem like that. And I listen to 21 Savage and like The Weeknd.
And Travis Scott.
Yes. If he heard or Nas lyrics, like...
So, going off topic again, my kind of music, you know, I enjoy trap for the most part, but I love me some country music because I'm a real Texan boy.
I really want to slit my throat every time we're in the car together.
She doesn't like country music, but we take my truck and I get to listen to my radio stations, and that just so happens to be country. Love me some Keith Whitley, some fucking Eric Church. Fucking love Eric Church. My favorite.
Yeah, you went to one of his concerts.
I did, and I wasn't old enough to drink, and I felt left out because Eric Church got blackout drunk on stage and had to be helped off, which was awesome. I loved it. Now on to movies.
But since we were talking about seeing people live, one artist that we both really like is The Weeknd.
That is true.
We both have shoes by The Weeknd. I have an entire outfit by The Weeknd.
Yes.
But I saw him live, and it was amazing.
See, you've seen... how many concerts have you been to? Because I feel like you've been to more than I have.
I've been to technically...
What does that mean?
3.
What does technically mean?
Well,
like you
I mean...
by?
No, because... I would say because, like, The Weeknd, Ray Sremmurd opened, and it felt like 2 concerts. Because it was a joint concert.
That doesn't really count. Because he's an opener.
But he wasn't opening.
Oh, so he was
It was a joint Ray Sremmurd Weeknd concert.
Okay, so let's rephrase this. How many venues have you been to see music happen?
3.
3, okay.
I've seen Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy.
All right. You did
Ray
the face paint and
Sremmurd.
everything.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Black. And The Weeknd. And I've also seen a Christian rock band, Skillet.
I've heard of Skillet in middle school.
Skillet was my fucking jam.
Which is so strange because I knew a lot of people who loved Skillet for a long time.
Yeah, I really liked Skillet.
How old were you when you saw Skillet?
Man, 12.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What grade is that? That's middle school, right?
It's like 8th grade. No, 7th.
Yeah, like 7th.
That's when I was emo, so.
Yeah, and Skillet's emo as fuck.
Oh, so
emo.
They just get on stage and they just start saying depressing
those
things.
Christian lyrics.
Yeah,
I was gonna say rhymes, but
they all had emo hair though. So the girls, they had
there's girls in Skillet?
emo cut. Yeah, there's a guitarist.
Okay. So do you think they bone each other?
No.
Why not?
That's not Christian.
Yeah, but they're also rock stars.
Like
you can't...
all of them together?
No, just like, you know.
Like a little band orgy?
I mean, I'm sure she's had sex with at least 2 members. I don't know how big the band is.
She's married to the lead singer.
Well, hey, I'm halfway
Jen.
there. Wait, you said married to the lead singer and then the drummer.
The drummer, I think, is... Yeah,
Also,
the drummer is Jen, and she is married to the lead singer.
Okay.
And then the guitarist and the bass guitarist, I think, are married.
Okay, well, we're talking about Skillet too much. I don't think people like Skillet.
No, no one likes Skillet. No one even knows who they are anymore.
No, people know who they are.
Okay, well, I am exaggerating that no one cares about them at all.
Yeah.
But we can move on from that.
Okay, so now we're going to go to movies.
Yes.
Okay, so...
What's your favorite movie, babe?
Probably The Princess Bride, because when I was a kid...
You're obsessed with The Princess Bride.
I do love it. So when I was a kid, I watched that fucking shit. I had it on VHS, and I played it till it didn't work anymore.
That's what I did with Jurassic Park.
Okay, I've seen Jurassic Park probably 3 times.
Okay, but you can't talk about your favorite movie without addressing how many times you've seen, what was it that
The
you
Cat in the Hat?
Yes,
I
The
did
Cat in
watch
the
that.
Hat. Literally, I feel like I woke up 5 days in a row and you were watching The Cat in the Hat.
Yeah,
And
it's
you were like,
comforting.
come on, babe, you gotta see The Cat in the Hat.
It's so good. When the cat is strung up as a piñata and he gets whacked in the balls by that beefy young lad. Holy fuck. It's so funny. Absolutely cinematic genius.
Well, if you're talking about cinematic genius,
Okay.
The Dark Knight.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And would you even believe that Taylor had never seen The Dark Knight until I showed it to him?
Yeah.
Because it's a work of art.
It's amazing.
It's
really
so good. The cinematography, the way that Christopher Nolan makes Batman realistic, and like he's talking about, I want a different mask so my head can move.
Yeah.
Because if you watch like old Batman movies, they can't move their head and their neck apart from their body. They're moving like a doll where they're like whipping around.
And they're living action figures.
Yeah. And so, it's so good. And then the Joker obviously is the most
Yeah,
amazing
it's
thing.
funny. The only reason I ended up watching it because I was pretty resistant to watching it in the first place. She was putting together one of our night tables, and I fucked mine up, so I made her do hers by herself.
Yes.
And while she did that, I watched The Dark Knight, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great.
Yeah, we had the TV on the ground, and I was like, I'm putting on The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
We watched it, and it was...
It's really good. But hey, on the flip
So
side
good.
of not seeing great movies, you've never fucking seen The Matrix.
No, and I was even born on the exact same day The Matrix came out.
I know, and you are so resistant to watching it, even after becoming obsessed with the John Wick series.
Oh my god, John Wick is so good.
John
We
Wick is-
recently bought John Wick 3 in like HD, and it's like the ultra version, and we got the assassin coin,
Oh, it's fucking badass.
the like
It's got
dark
weight.
world coin. Oh my god, it's like
It's so
real
cool.
metal.
I feel like I could probably kill someone with it if I really tried.
Probably just throw it right into their skull.
No, I'd like press it into one of their
Oh.
eyes. You know, like
That's
really
what I
try.
was thinking, but I was thinking throw it, and you're thinking just
I don't have that kind of arm.
finger it into their
yeah.
skull.
Yeah. I have the Tileman hand, so I have more finger strength than the average man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good for fingering coins into skulls.
I haven't tried, but I'm sure it would be pretty effective.
I feel like maybe, but I don't know about that.
So now, wait, would you say The Dark Knight is your favorite movie?
It used to be Gladiator.
Gladiator's really good.
Oh
yeah.
my God, it's
I
so
do love
good.
Gladiator.
But The Dark Knight is definitely one of my favorite movies.
Mhm.
I do love movies in general.
Okay. So instead of saying favorite movie, let's do top 3.
Top 3?
Top 3, go ahead.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would say The Dark Knight is one of them.
Mm.
Oh man, but I really like Lord of the Rings, all 3 of them.
But which one is your favorite out of the trilogy?
The second one, because of the Battle of Helm's Deep,
Okay.
is the fucking coolest thing
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my entire
it's pretty
life.
cool.
And then, man, Les Miserables,
Never seen it.
maybe? Oh, it's so good. The Grand Budapest Hotel. Oh, Tropic Thunder.
Oh, you do love you some blackface.
Jesus Christ. It's the funniest movie ever, and I didn't even know that Robert Downey Jr. was in it.
That's what
Because
makes it good.
He is playing a
Black
he's
man.
playing a white guy playing a black guy, and so it just makes it so funny.
Now you want to talk about cinematic genius? That's where it's at.
What are
Playing
you,
a white man, playing a black man.
amazing.
Pretty damn good.
You've seen the Grand Budapest Hotel?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's in my top 3, but definitely my top 10.
I'll
I
watch
fucking
it
love
on
that movie.
planes,
Yeah, you told
and
me
it
that.
just makes it. I'll be cackling in my seat because it's so funny.
Yeah.
Whenever they replace that amazing painting,
yeah.
they steal it, and then what they replace it with is like this girl like fingering another girl.
Yeah, and everybody's like,
Like, what is that?
It's great art.
What's your 3 favorite
Okay,
movies.
so The Princess Bride.
Duh.
The Cat in the Hat is probably one of my most watched movies, but not my favorite.
Okay.
Avatar.
Yeah, you do love Avatar.
Fucking love
I
Avatar.
hate Avatar.
It's great. Blue people are cool, and they're taller than us, so that makes it more cool.
Wow.
And third favorite would be probably the third Terminator movie.
The third one? Why the third one?
Because the kid is grown up. I can't remember his name.
The kid is grown up.
Yeah, he's like an
You
adult.
heard it here.
Yeah.
The best movies are where the kid is grown up.
Yep, you know.
Unless it's like the Santa Claus and then...
Oh, The Sandlot. You helped me.
The
Sandlot. Fuck Terminator. No, not fuck Terminator. I love Terminator. But The Sandlot, man. So good. Little baseball, little 4th of July music playing.
July.
Oh, it's good. I love The Sandlot so much.
My.
I really like it.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Happy you guys are happy.
Me and the Sandlot crew.
Yeah. But, so, in this episode, we were planning on talking about some fun stories after our introduction.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to talk about the craziest thing that has ever happened to us.
Yeah.
So, did you want to go first, or do you want
No,
me
I
to?
still have to think of what it is. So
Okay.
I know you have it locked in.
Well, so recently, might be crazy for you guys to think about, but with my American accent and whatnot, but I was deported recently, which is insane just to even say out loud.
Pretty cool, though.
Not really.
Pretty cool to have that under your belt.
But, so I've been going to university in London, and I've already lived in London for a year. I did the first year of my bachelor's degree. I've been getting a bachelor's in psychology with criminology, which everyone always says is pretty ironic that I have part of my major in criminology, because I actually don't have fingerprints. And
yeah, she's a freak.
Customs officers love to laugh about that, because it actually takes me at least 30 minutes every single time I go through customs, because they cannot fingerprint me. But anyway, so I had come back to the United States because I didn't have enough money to stay in London, and so I took a year off of school. And then I was getting ready to go back to school this year. So on September 10th, I left for London.
Something like that.
And I had already been in contact with my school about my visa. They had been telling me that I had a curtailment hold on it.
And what does curtailment mean?
Curtailment, they keep acting like it means that... Man, they keep acting like it means something that it doesn't mean, which you will learn in a second.
Yeah.
It means a restriction, and so they kept saying curtailment hold.
Right.
So obviously, when you think of a restriction hold, you would think that it's for the time being. So I asked my school what I needed to do, and they basically told me, you need to get the hold taken off of your visa. And you can do that by sending us a picture of your passport stamp showing that you left the UK.
Yeah,
and I'm
just
like,
proof.
well, the US doesn't put stamps on
No.
your passport if you're a citizen, so
Right.
you're fucking dumb. But I sent them a picture of my plane ticket back to the US, and they were like, okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And so they sent me an email that said the hold got taken off, which is great.
Yeah, we both assumed it was going to be all right.
Yeah, and so I get to the UK, and I'm at customs, and the guy asks for my passport. I tell him I'm a student, and so he asks for my visa, and he looks at it, and he looks at his computer, and he starts filling out a detainment sheet, and he does not tell me what's going on. And he's like, well, I don't even know what's going on. And so he leads me to this little seating area in the airport, and he sits me down and is like, I'm going to figure out what's happening. I'll keep you updated. And I'm like, okay. So I call my dad and I call Taylor and I'm
That's
like,
me.
ha ha, I'm sitting down.
Got detained.
Maybe it's about, like, my fucking fingerprints, or maybe it's about, I don't know. So he comes back and he asks me about the hold. He's like, did you know you had a hold? Or your visa was curtailed? And I was like, yeah, I did. My school already emailed me, though, and told me it was taken care of. And he just looked confused, and he was like, can you send us the email?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And so I screenshotted it. And I was like, worried because I thought that my school had just not told anyone that the hold had been removed. So he leaves for a bit, and then I'm like, I don't know what's happening, and so I think I called you.
Yeah, you called me. You're freaking out.
Yeah,
I was freaking out.
I was like, I don't know what's happening, and so they come back. The officer comes back, and he's like, well.
Fuck.
I hate to break it to you, but your school is stupid because they shouldn't have used the word hold because you don't have a visa anymore to put it on hold.
Right.
And I was like, the fuck?
Yeah,
and
right.
he said, yeah, your visa was revoked.
Yeah. Totally deleted.
And so I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen? And he tells me it doesn't look good, and then leads me to a holding room, which is basically just lines and lines of chairs with a TV, and they take away my phone. They already took away my passport and my visa. They told me my visa was not going to come back to me, but I would get my passport. Ha ha.
And mind you, this is after Brooke had texted me, haha, they took my passport and now they're taking me to a detainment area.
Did I tell you?
You texted me that, and that's why I was freaking out so bad.
Well, yeah. So they took my phone, they took all my bags, and they said that they were going to take me down to the baggage claim area to take my other bags so that they could search all of them. And this is all because my school didn't tell me that my visa had been revoked, so I'm being treated like I did something. And
I guess
I'm
like an illegal alien, technically.
I was, yeah, and so I was very confused. And so they took me down to the baggage claim area after I'd been in the holding room for like 2.5 hours or something. And I honestly felt really bad for this Russian lady and her kids in there because she had told me that she had already been in that room for 8 hours.
Jesus.
And they hadn't even talked to her yet. And so they take me down to the baggage claim area, they get my bags, and they bring them to this table. They start searching through all of my stuff. And it was kind of awkward. They were really going through it, and I was like, I mean, why do they need to do this?
Yeah, you didn't come there with some weird agenda.
Yeah, and then they took me to this other room, and they fingerprinted me.
Every time you say fingerprint, I think you're going to say fingered.
Yeah.
Every single time.
That's what they did. They took me to a room, and they fingered me.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it was all right. They weren't very good at it.
Subpar, but they did the job.
But they were just, making fun of my fingerprints, asking me if I did manual labor, and I'm look at me.
Yeah, totally jacked.
No. And then they were just like, wow, your fingerprints are fucking awful. And I'm like, yep, I know.
Yep.
And then they take my picture a bunch of times. And then they brought me back to the holding room, and I was probably there for 3 hours again, so that's like 5.5, yeah. So then I am interviewed, and he's basically asking me all the questions about my university, and then they take me back to the room, and he's like, I'll just be gone for a second, and then I'll come back and tell you what's gonna happen to you. And it was like 2 hours later because I was in the room for a total of 7.5 hours. The lady that was in there, the Russian lady, she left a little bit before me.
Oh, that's so much time.
She had been in there for 12 hours total by the time I
And were her
left.
kids with her? Or
Yes, they were with her the entire
How old
time.
were they?
Young.
Ah.
The oldest kid looked like he was probably 8. Youngest one was like 4 maybe.
Yeah.
They were young kids, and so I was like, this isn't right. That.
Well, I mean, I don't know what a better system would be. I guess they got to do what they got to do, but
Yeah,
they could have at least tried to expedite.
That's true. There was like a family room, which she spent most of her time in.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, so they basically come and tell me, the officer is like, well, you're being kicked out of the country. Here's your deportation papers, and he told me that, oh, the good news is you won't be detained overnight. And I was like, wow, great news, but I'm still being kicked out of the country.
Yeah.
And so they bought my plane ticket the next day.
Which
and
is
he's
nice,
like,
because we were freaking out about that.
And he's like, basically, if you don't show up for this flight, you're going to be arrested. And then he doesn't give me my passport, which will come in later because... Jesus Christ, I think they didn't want to give me my passport, and they had to act like they were going to, because the next day I showed up at the airport and they said you need to go to the immigration office, and they give me bad directions, and they told me to show up 2 hours early, and so that's entirely on them. Because they took like 40 minutes to even give the people at the front desk my information to like send me through. And by the time I got through with security, the boarding on my plane had started. And I was at a completely different gate. So I'm like, okay.
Well, guess I don't have a passport.
Yeah, and they gave me the directions, and they said it's a little bit past this currency exchange place in a corridor. They didn't tell me what building or the floor. They just said it's on the south side of the building. So I'm like running, trying to find it. I find a currency exchange place, and then I walk a little bit further, and there is a corridor, except instead of immigration office, it says customs.
Right.
And so I start like running down the corridor, and I see this guy just sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, where's the immigration office? And he goes, I don't know, I don't work there.
Nice.
And that's all he says to me. So
he did his job.
Yeah, so I run to my gate, and somehow they are going to let me onto an international flight with no passport. Right. And to even let me onto the plane, they call this lady from the immigration office. And she comes all the way from the immigration office where they told me to pick up my passport to my gate. So what would you assume with someone coming from the place where my passport is to my gate? You would assume that they're bringing my passport, wouldn't you?
You'd like to?
No,
okay.
She just brought a photo that they had taken of my passport.
All right.
And then is super rude to me about it, is like, you know you were supposed to get this before your flight, right? And I'm like, yeah, I tried. And she goes, how old are you?
Dick.
I'm like, you fucking cut. And I'm like,
goddamn adult.
I'm 20.
Yeah.
And then I get on my flight, and I'm like, you're the fucking idiot that's letting me on a flight without my passport. Like, they know this is going to cause problems for me.
But...
And they fucking do it. They never meant to give me my passport.
I think they just didn't want to do their jobs. Is probably more what it was. But it didn't end up causing problems because America loves Americans, and they just let you right in.
Well, they took a second, and they talked to me about the whole situation. They were like, well, this happens to people every day here. And I was like, yeah, honestly, they could have treated me a lot worse.
Yeah.
Because being an American really, I feel like, makes people treat you better, which sucks for other people. Because there were a bunch of people from other countries that started being racked up into that holding room in London, and they were not being treated as well as I was.
Mm.
Like, they even gave me this remote for the TV that even said on it, "Don't give to people in the holding room."
Wow.
And they let me have it, and they were trying to get me food and stuff. And
Well,
I was
that's
like,
good.
man, treat other people like that too. Like, they're rude to the other people.
Being American is like being royalty.
Basically.
Yeah.
It made me feel bad, though.
Well, it's cool for Americans, but it does suck for everybody else, that's true.
Yeah, and a Russian lady with her young kids.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks. But, yeah, that's my insane story, and I've sent my university an angry email since, basically saying, you better fucking help me. You better pay for something.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid cunts.
And obviously they haven't gotten back to her, really, so we are patiently awaiting a response. So now on to my crazy story.
Not as crazy as mine, I bet.
Well, it's weird. Definitely weird.
What is
I didn't get deported. But it has to do with my little sister, Sky. She's about 2.5 years younger than me. And when I was probably around 9 or 10, growing up in my household, me and my little sister had naked time. When we would both bathe, not together, but we would both take our showers, and then we would run around the house fully nude. And we also did plays for my mom. So one day we decided to go ahead and do a play nude. And obviously I was the older one, so I wrote the scripts, but I just kind of told her what to do. And the play was a love story between our two naked asses. And we drew faces on them, and we spread our cheeks like mouths when they would talk. And at the very end of the play, we smooched booties. And I was a little old for that, but I guess I was an innocent kid,
How
so it
old
was
were
fine.
you?
I was probably 9 or 10.
Yikes.
So, yeah, that's, it's not as crazy, but it's definitely strange, and I could probably talk to a professional about it.
Probably. But on a weird acting with your sibling,
Mm-hmm.
my sister and I, my sister's name is also Taylor.
That is true.
So I have
am
both
her
a
sister.
boyfriend and a sister, Taylor.
Yeah.
But
Keeps it simple.
yeah, I can only remember one name at a time.
Yeah, she's dumb as
So
fuck.
I don't remember my own name because I wanted to remember two people's names.
Yeah,
so,
she just calls everyone Taylor. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
But I kind of like it.
You know, it's a little hard. Life has not been good to me.
No.
But, you know, I do what I can.
Yeah.
But in India, we had this gigantic tree. And we used in our backyard. And we would run around it, I think, 20 times together.
Because you're in India and there's nothing to do.
I don't even remember what we said. I think we would just say Narnia.
Jesus Christ.
So many times. Narnia, 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 Narnia. While we were running. And we would act like we were transported to Narnia. We're in Narnia. And we would just like do random things in our backyard acting like we're in Narnia. And then we would get off topic with saying that my neighbor was a witch.
Of course.
And I felt really bad. We made a concoction to poison her.
Well, it's fine as long as you didn't actually attempt to poison her.
Yeah, we poured tomato soup in a bowl.
Okay.
And then we put bugs in it. And we put a lot of things in there.
Anything
like we
actually
spit
poison
in it.
Well, that's just
No.
gross. Okay.
And then we threw it into her yard.
I wonder what kind of message that sent. You being American.
She probably thought we were putting a curse on her.
She probably thought you were trying to assert your American dominance on her, and she was probably terrified.
Maybe. There are a lot of weird things in India that happen. Oh, one time my father walked out into our backyard because he heard rustling in our tree. And he was like, I think he heard voices even.
Okay.
But our big tree in our backyard was a mango tree. And mangoes
Wow, that's really cool.
are
Delicious.
a hot commodity there.
An Indian cuisine.
Yes,
Okay.
and so he heard rustling and voices, I think.
Okay.
And so he walks
Couple
out,
mango
and
smugglers.
there's 3 grown men
Hell
with
yeah.
like a sack in the tree, just popping mangoes in their little bag.
Some money.
And my dad just walks out, and they all look at him, and they all just start fucking jumping over the fences like they're fucking jetting.
Yeah.
He was like, what the fuck? Why are there people in our mango tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're ever in India, you gotta watch out for mango thieves.
Well, you know, you gotta get by how you can, and hustling with mangoes is one way to do it.
I guess. It's very strange.
So we just paused it. We were discussing how long we wanted to do this, and I think we both feel like maybe half an hour is what we want to stick to.
Yeah.
Just because most podcasts are about an hour long, and I know it can get boring to listen to two people's inane bullshit for that long. So hopefully this is, you know, concise, a little entertaining, hopefully at least.
Hopefully at least a single person will watch this and be
hopefully
entertained.
Someone watched, and if you did, please leave some feedback wherever you are. We're going to try to post this to as many places as possible just so we can get someone to fucking listen to us. We like doing this. It's really fun.
It is really fun.
So we're going to try to do this at least once a week. You know, maybe we'll do a special thing here or there if people actually listen, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and we think we're going to record it on Sundays and then post them on Mondays. So you can listen to this while you're watching Monday Night Football.
Well, hopefully they'll be watching Monday Night Football because we're both football fans here and we want to support it
Hell yeah.
to the max. So I guess this is Brooks and signing off for the first time. Hopefully not the last time. Please listen to us.
Please, we're begging.
We'll see whoever listens to this next week on Brooks and Dunham. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
It's just like you, a bottle rocket leading still. You promised in this rebellion, at least you will. Sorry to say that it's nothing special. I peel back my roads, crying with my body, I suppose. The streets fall from my window, Texan tracks, cowboy leather. Notes that repose, he has a ledger. Once handle a jump, cowboy lines it up, and this is when you climb on. But you're in the wrong town, not distressed in displeasure. On my faith, you're always down in a Texan home. Like Western thrill thriller gunned into throws. You purposed your way in Dakota snow, tore on it just in case. Crying with your body in a getaway, walk with your notions these days. Texan tracks, cowboy leather. Notes that repose, he has a ledger. Punks handle a jump, cowboy lines it up, and this is when you climb on. But you're in the wrong town, not distressed in this